Hi everybody, Tammy here. Welcome to my channel. I have Zanya with me today. She's wearing this super cute and very simple to make long dress for Blythe. I have a video tutorial that shows how to make this dress. It is part of a virtual Blythe Retreat taster series that my sister Tapping Flamingo and I are doing. Our theme is Mardi Gras, and part of Mardi Gras includes parades, and those parades typically have a court of sorts. And I think there's a name for them. I think that's called the crew or something like that. Terry is going to post more videos about Mardi Gras over on the Blythe Doll Buddies Facebook group while we do this. But anyway, there's usually a king and queen. And I thought it would be fun to try to make a dress that could be used to create a sort of Mardi Gras queen. All right. And yeah, so that video shows how to make this dress. And I used very simple fabric so that you could just see, the basics of how to do it. And actually, even though this fabric is just, solid color, I'm kind of happy with how it turned out. I think it looks really cute on her. All right. So this is part 2 of this. And in this video, I'm going to talk about ways to change this around and make it your own and maybe jazz it up a little bit, because like I said, this is very, very simple, plain. I use solid color fabric. So that's the first thing you can do. Obviously, you can use some pattern fabric. And here is Malibu. She is modeling the same exact dress. The only difference is, obviously, I use different fabric here. I have 2 different patterns. This is Mardi Gras fabric that actually Terry gave me. So look how cute that is. And not only did I use 2 different patterns, but you'll see I made sure that the fleur-de-lis is positioned here in the center of the top. That's called fussy cutting when you're sewing. If you try to get a certain particular item placed a certain way when you're cutting the pattern out. So fussy cutting, using different fabrics to, create more of a different look. So that's probably one of the easiest variations you can do right there. Okay. Another really super duper easy thing to do, you can see this is a very boxy kind of style. You can add a little ribbon to the center of it, okay? I literally cut a piece of ribbon. I think this ribbon, I want to say, is like maybe 18 inches long, and it is, I would say that's probably 1/4 of an inch, maybe it's 3/8 of an inch, 5 millimeters width. And I just tied it around her waist and just cinched it in. So you can see a little bit, looks like a little bit different there. Just got a very, again, I used a patterned fabric. My fabric has a pattern, but otherwise these 3 dresses are exactly the same. On that note, for people who maybe have a little bit more experience sewing, you could also add darts to this, okay, if you wanted to get it a little bit more form-fitting. That would be something you could do as well. Another very simple thing you can do, and actually just this next one has 2 things that I did. There are straps on here, okay? So you can, I used ribbon for the straps, all right? But you don't even have to have straps. You could make it strapless, okay? So here I have an A-Zone style non-stock doll who is wearing the same exact dress, no straps, okay? Additionally, you can see I used fabric here that has a small print on it, and I added lace, and I literally just sewed, I don't know if you can see the seams there, the stitches. I placed this on top. When I did the hem, let me move these gals out of the way a little bit to show you more clearly. So when I added the lace, I literally added it when I hemmed the skirt at the bottom. And so I think you can see my stitches a little bit there. So that was one step. So I hemmed it, and then I added it another stitch up here so that it's actually attached here and here. Same thing with the top. Okay, I stitched it here and here so that it was secure, and it's a straight stitch, so it was super easy. So same exact dress, added lace, didn't include any straps. Now as far as the straps go, these straps are attached at the front and at the back. However, if you wanted to, you can make the ribbon or whatever you use for the straps. These are 2 inches. You can make them a little bit longer, I would say, at least twice as long as that. And instead of stitching them down here, let them just stitch them in the front and then tie it around her neck to create more of a halter top style. Okay, so yeah, so there's that as well. And then of course, this is a very plain, design here. I used just, solid color fabric, but I could easily jazz a dress like this up with something like these little bows. And you can buy these, they're already pre-bowed, pre-folded, pre-stitched, and you can just attach them. I would say if you're looking for really cute little ornaments like this that typically are doll size, I find a lot of things like this in the scrapbooking aisle of my craft store, as well as the wedding aisle. Okay, but you could do something like, I think it would really be cute to put like maybe a bow here, or maybe even two bows, or you could put it in the center, you could put it down here. You could go crazy and put it around, put a whole bunch of bows, at the bottom. It depends. If she's, if you wanted to make this into, like I said, an evening gown that could be worn on a Mardi Gras float, you probably want to go over the top. So you could add a lot of, go crazy with the bows. Like I said, you could use some lace. Here's some lace. You could add the top here, lace it up. Very easy to add that. Here's something I got from the scrapbooking aisle. It's sticky, okay, but this is supposed to go on here, and then you peel this off. This is kind of old, but I've used these just like this and just stitched them on. So again, this is something you could put it down here. That would be really pretty. Okay, scrapbooking aisle. Buttons are something else. Don't discount buttons. Not that these are maybe fancy enough for a Mardi Gras parade float, but you never know. And then some other really fun little ornaments that, again, these I believe I got in I think I got these in the wedding aisle of my craft store, are all these little roses. And you could go crazy stitching these on. You could put a whole bunch on here. You could put a bunch across the bodice. Yeah, lots of different ways to do that. And then, of course, this is a long dress, so you could alter the length of the dress. If you wanted to make it a short dress and maybe you don't want it to be super fancy, you could shorten the skirt part. Remember, if you saw the other video, this here, the skirt part is 6 inches by 12 inches. So if you made it maybe 4 inches long by 12 inches, so it would be shorter, you could do that. And another thing is, if you wanted to, I used cotton because I have a ton of cotton fabric, okay? And it's just my personal choice. But again, if you're trying to make an evening gown, you could get some really nice, silky polyester fabric, fancy satin looking fabric, and really make something that's, wow. I will say, just for beginners, if you decide to do something like that, keep in mind that working with that type of fabric will probably be a little bit more challenging than working with something like regular old cotton. But that is something you could do. And then finally, again, the skirt part is something you can alter. Right here, I just have, one skirt, but you could layer the skirt. You could maybe have a ruffle, on the edge of the skirt. If you're going to add a ruffle, typically the ruffle is done in a similar way as here, where you gathered the top of it. But you're going to need more fabric. This is 12 inches. You would need at least 2.5 to 3 times that to create a ruffle. But that's another way that you could definitely jazz it up. So anyway, really quickly, that's a whole bunch of ideas just kind of thrown out there. One of the things that Terry and I really enjoy when we do the virtual Blythe retreat, and not the real deal in the summer, we always have one in June, and then the tasters, the freebie tasters that we've been doing, we love to see what people do with our projects. These are workshop driven. It's a workshop driven retreat event. And so we design projects related to a theme, and then we show you how to make whatever item it is related to the theme. Typically it's something obviously for the dolls. And we love it when people take our workshops and our designs and then, make it their own. add things, change things, alter, edit, whatever you want to do. That's part of the fun. And if you want to do that as part of the virtual Blythe Retreat Taster this time for Mardi Gras, feel free anytime, there's no deadline, to post pictures over in our Facebook group, Blythe Doll Buddies. Blythe Doll Buddies is a free Facebook group for everybody, and you don't even have to have a Blythe doll, honestly. It's Blythe Doll and their buddies, okay? So we're their buddies, Barbie's their buddies, smart dolls, any doll. Any doll is a buddy of Blythe, okay? So feel free to go over there, join us if you haven't already, and then if you try this out, I'd love to see photos of, your finished project. But yeah, if you have any questions, you can post them on the group, or you can post them down below in the comments. And I'd love to see if you have any suggestions too. Maybe there's something I'm sure there's something I did not cover just now. I'm sure you can think of things to add yourself. Yeah, let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, I hope you're all enjoying this really super fun Mardi Gras Virtual Blythe Retreat freebie taster for February 2025. If you've caught this at a different time in the future, please feel free to make and share your thoughts. As usual, please give this a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and have a wonderful Dolly Day. Bye-bye.